Test Drive with Graeme Fletcher.
This is the 1993 Volkswagen Golf, the third generation of this particular automobile. Now, no ordinary Golf is this vehicle because under the hood is a totally new 1.9 litre turbo diesel, a first for Test Drive. Now, if you think you're in for a rather mundane ride, stick around because this car has more than a few surprises.
Inside, the Golf is well finished. Now that is if you like a cloth that is textured somewhat like a lint brush. During the test, the fabric on the seats collected more lint than my brush does in a year. That said, the seats are extremely comfortable and provide the type of lumbar, lateral and thigh support that German cars have become famous for, and quite rightly so in my view.
This Golf does not come with tilt steering. However, it really doesn't hinder things because what they've done, they've added a height adjustable chair, meaning you can always find the perfect driving position.
The dash is a very simple affair. On the left you'll find a speedo and on the right a clock. There are gauges for both temperature and fuel. In the rear there is enough space to accommodate 2 in comfort and, if the need arises, 3. Our GL tester came with a solid fold-down rear seat, complete with a privacy cover to keep those ever-present prying eyes off your junk. The only other things to mention are that the radio is situated above the heater controls, a gold star for that one, and that the radio now turns off with the ignition key.
This is Volkswagen's new 1.9 litre turbo diesel engine. Now, the reason they've turbocharged it is not so much for more power, although it does help in that area. Specifically, it's there to improve combustion efficiency. Under load, when you add that extra air, you eliminate a lot of the black smoke. Now, the other thing they've done is to add an oxygen catalyst, which works very much like a regular catalytic converter. The combination of the turbo and the oxygen catalyst mean this diesel engine runs a lot cleaner than your average diesel.
I have already mentioned how much cleaner this diesel engine actually is, but the numbers speak better than I. Carbon monoxide is reduced by 1/3 and hydrocarbons by over 20% when compared to a conventional diesel engine. The other item of note is that even at temperatures of minus 20 degrees C, I had absolutely no problem starting this car. Now that's something that most diesel owners cannot say. Again, another indication that this is not a diesel from the past, but rather one designed for the future. The real acid test, though, is whether or not you can live with the smell left on you and your hands after refueling. To coin an English expression, not on your Nelly.
I've always stayed away from diesel-powered cars for several reasons, not the least of which they can barely get out of their own way, and they also happen to be incredibly noisy and very smelly. Now, on this particular vehicle, the oxidation catalyst gets rid of the smell. They've done a good job of isolating the engine noise from the passenger compartment, and between 60 and 100 kilometers an hour, this thing is actually surprisingly quick.
The biggest advantage to running a diesel-powered vehicle is obviously fuel economy. That means that operating costs are, unlike house prices, affordable. For the record, we averaged an astounding 6.9 litres per 100 kilometres, or are you ready for this, 41 miles per gallon. And we achieved that figure with the pedal pressed to the floor most of the time. If driven judiciously, 50 miles per gallon is not out of the question.
In the past, Volkswagens have been renowned for the manner in which they handle, and this third generation Golf is no exception either. Very minimal understeer, very minimal body roll, everything is just hunky-dory. In fact, it's handling the pylon test exceptionally well. The only thing that gives it away is you can hear some diesel engine clatter. Aside from that, everything's wonderful.
Stopping distances, and I will say this car comes with an outstanding set of brakes, averaged 116 feet from 80k, and the 0 to 100k time is measured at 13 seconds. Slow, but at least you don't need a calendar. Now, the reason for this sluggish off-the-line performance is the rather meagre 75 horses.
My pet peeve on the Golf is very simple. This car doesn't come with an airbag, even as an option. Now, in today's market, where consumers are putting overwhelming emphasis on that particular safety item, it has to hurt sales. The other thing, anybody that doesn't believe in the validity of mud flaps has only got to look at the state of this car. Had they been installed, we would have had a clean car, at least for a portion of test drive. Summing up this car is easy. This is the best Golf ever, and anybody in the market for a compact four-door that's affordable should have this car on their list. Now, if you happen to operate out of a fixed income or commute very long distances, the turbo diesel engine might be the solution to your problem. Next week on Test Drive, we look at the Taurus SHO.